Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we are trying to give you some basic informations related to develop a very clear spiritual foundation with meditation practice. So it is important for yourself to understand the very background of the body and mind and the techniques. So when it comes to our human mind, we all are looking for happiness and satisfaction through all these activities. No doubt about it. So whatever we do, end of this all, we are trying to gain the happiness and satisfaction. But at the same time, if you look very carefully in this human history, all the time, people invest their time, their life, their energy, their money for happiness and satisfaction, but still, most of people didn't get it. So out of their activities, most of time, they had unsatisfaction, fear, worry, anxiety, depression. So those are the things they got back as result. But still we are keep doing the same thing again and again and again. We are not different than our ancestors. Of course, some activities it look like different, but deeper our intention is the same. So then we have to look why this happened like that. So today we are going to see, according to the Buddha's teaching, what is this happiness and how you can gain this ultimate satisfaction to your mind. So when it comes to that, why we need to listen to the Buddha's teaching. So you may heard the word, the Dharma. So Dharma is a word and it has different meanings. So the one of the meaning is that very fundamental nature of everything we call as Dharma. And another thing is that what we hold by ourselves, we call Dharma. And another thing is Dharma is whatever the spiritual books try to teach us, also we call Dharma, like Tripitaka, Bible, Quran, and all other holy books. That this all we call, whatever in that books we call dharma. So that is another meaning. All the sutras also we call dharma. And whatever some kind of rules and regulations or cultural believing system also in a certain way we call dharma. And if you stand on some ideas of philosophy, that also we call dharma. This all has the same kind of lens to see things. But there is another meaning. That is one of the beautiful meaning when it comes to dharma. What is that? So that is what you understand through your own experience. It's kind of like your point of view, also called dharma. So then you can see that whatever when it comes to Jesus, so whatever he saw, that his point of view, his understanding regarding the world, it his dharma. And the Prophet Muhammad, so whatever he understood regarding the world, so it is belong to his dharma. So then the Buddha Dharma means what? Now you understand. So the Buddha Dharma means the Buddha. So and according to his point of view, what he knows about what he understood about the world is called Buddha Dharma. So the thing is this now. You also have your own dharma. So then put your name first and put the dharma. So that is your dharma. So then anybody, whatever the person see, according to his own point of view regarding the world, whatever he see, that is his dharma. So now what happened? So you have your own dharma. That means you have your own point of view regarding the world, according to your own experience. You know something. So nothing wrong about it. So you have your own dharma. Your husband or wife have their own dharma. Children have their own dharma. Parents have their own dharma. Brothers, sisters have their own dharma. And neighbors have their own dharma. So like that, dharma means that your point of view. So then why you need to learn about the Buddha Dharma? So that means what the Buddha taught. So then if you want to let go your point of view and try to understand what the Buddha taught, so then you go towards the Buddha Dharma. But sometimes there are some people, they want to clarify their own point of view and they look some evidence through the Buddha's teaching and try to match it with their own point of view and try to prove it. So that is not the Buddha Dharma. So the Buddha Dharma means you have to learn the sutras, or maybe you listen to the monks or whoever study the Buddha's teaching, and rather than teaching their point of view, if the person try to teach what the Buddha taught, so then you can learn through that. So learning that, understanding it, then it come to your understanding, and then you start to see, you change, you shift your point of view to related to the Buddha's teaching, and then you follow that point of view. So then when it come to regarding our day-to-day life, our happiness and satisfaction, so what the Buddha taught about it. So now we're going to learn about it. rather than what we believe, what your parents used to believe, what your culture, tradition, what other people used to tell about our happiness or satisfaction. So what the society believe regarding the happiness and satisfaction, rather than go with that, so you have to have a skill, power, strength, ability to understand what the Buddha taught about the happiness and satisfaction, and then follow that path. So then you will reach to what the Buddha reach. So otherwise, then you can follow whatever the another way. So what is the Deva Dharma means? Deva means the deities. So whatever they taught, then we call the Deva Dharma. So then if you want to follow that path, then you have to listen to that. And there are people have their own dharma. So if you want to follow that people, follow that dharma. But now you have a choice. If you want to follow what the Buddha taught, so then you have to go with that. So don't try to mix it or match it. Or don't try to convert the Buddha Dharma to your Dharma. It's not going to happen. So when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, there was a person called Unnabha Brahman. So he came to Buddha one day and had a conversation with the Buddha. So he asked, Venerable Sir, we have this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. And basically this all 5 senses that what it hold by, from where it hold, what is the base, what is the foundation for this? In what condition it depends. So then the Buddha taught, your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body depend on mind. So this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body depend on mind. And the mind depend on, this is very important, the mind depend on not the satisfaction. So that is one of the misunderstandings. So this is our dharma. We are the one who thinks the mind try to depend on satisfaction. And that's why we are so crazy. We keep going, running, day and night, 24/7, go everywhere to all these 6 directions looking for happiness and satisfaction. Why? We believe, our parents used to believe, our teachers used to believe, our ancestors used to believe, the mind depend on happiness. But here, what the Buddha taught, mind not depend on happiness. So the mind depend on awareness. That's a very important to understand. See, that we never try to give a chance for our mind to be aware, mindful. Sati. We always look for happiness and we focus to happiness. If somebody says, this is happy, we jump to that. That is happy, we jump to that. But end of the day, you all know now, there is no such a thing that you can experience and keep it as a happiness or satisfaction. Kind of like a very sustainable, because everything depends on something. But the mind has a way to be happy when it depends on awareness. It is very sustainable. That is the strength for the mind. That is the food for the mind. That is the nutrition for the mind. That is the energy for the mind. That is the balance for the mind. That is the foundation for the mind. That is the shade for the mind. That is the home for your mind. Awareness. Mindfulness. So then, if you really want, it doesn't matter how far you go behind happiness and satisfaction, remember, your mind never going to be happy. It will jump to another. It will jump to another. You can keep going. This journey, there's no end. But once the mind settles down with the awareness, it will tranquilize and it become very sustainable, and you are capable to experience the contentment. You feel the completion with tranquility state, awareness. So that's why every day spend some time to develop this awareness, sati. Try to develop your mindfulness, not the happiness. Of course, nothing wrong. We have a habit, pattern, nature to go with that. But still give a little bit time for yourself to be aware. Develop your awareness. Develop your sati. Develop your mindfulness. Because that is the place your mind going to be complete or satisfied. And your awareness, where it heading, and what is the foundation for that? So that is liberation. Because tranquility state itself not going to be enough. And that is why the liberation, enlightenment, and through your wisdom. So once you have the tranquility state, rather than settling down with that, you develop your wisdom. And through that wisdom, you come to liberation. So liberation means what? Liberation from your own desires. Become free from your own desires. You become like the wind. You have a flow, but no any preconditioned mind. You are capable to go into any direction. You are formless, but still you are capable to move. You don't have a timetable to depend. You don't have a preconditioned mind regarding the life. You don't have hopes, but still you perform your best. You become like the water. You are formless. You don't have any identity, but still there is experience. You don't have any reconditioned desire, but still you are capable to experience things to the highest. And you become like the earth. You know, we all are depending on this earth, but still no one think about this earth. In day-to-day life, just imagine today that you thought about many things from morning to night. How many times you thought about this earth? And just imagine all the food come from this earth and we are standing on it. It gives the space for us. It gives the balance to us. If the the earthquake happen, if it is go little bit start to move, what happens? This all the structure become liquid. All these forms become formless. But look, still it holds like this. That's why we are capable to keep our balance. That's why you can see things clearly, hear things properly. And once the earth start to move, what will happen? You feel dizzy. You go out of balance. Then the mind start to break down to different layers. It holds this all the weight and give the balance. But even though we take the facilities from the earth, we never appreciate it. And the earth doesn't have any intention to wait for any appreciation. So can you be like that? Because you are a child from the earth. Just imagine, you born from the dust, you born from this earth, you depending from this earth. So you are capable to have that ability. Be like the earth. You give the shoulder to other people. You give your best for other people. You help for others, but you don't wait for any appreciation. You don't depend on any feedback. You don't have any expectations. Even you are a mother, father, children, parents, brothers, sisters, friends, partners, you do your best without any expectations. Can you do that? Why most of time people get married sometimes? Because they need somebody. It's not they giving their best to others. They want somebody. And why sometimes parents have children? Because they have the fear regarding their future. Oh, we need somebody. They will take care of us. So like that, we always do most of things having expectations. Even we do a lot of good things. Why? We are afraid for the future. We are afraid for the karma. We are afraid for the result. We are afraid for the samsara. And we think if we do good, I will be okay. So with the fear, we do good things. So like that, we always have a kind of like a self-centered mind, point of view related to I am. But when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, if you develop your mindfulness, if you have your clear comprehension, and if you have the ability to become free from your own inner desires, you have the open heart with the open hands. So to perform the best love and compassion towards everybody without any boundaries, without any limitations. You are capable to do that. Your heart can access to that unlimited space. So that is where you liberate from you. So that is another part of the liberation. So once you have tranquility state, even you have to liberate from that tranquility state, because we have deeper intention to find tranquility state within us. It's also kind of like a desire to find, be satisfied, but you become free from that also. So that's why you always remember then, your mind will stop. Not with the happiness, satisfaction through this outside world, but it will going to be satisfied with awareness, mindfulness, tranquility state, or the sati, or clear comprehension. It's all the same kind of like related to the same group. So develop it a little bit. Experience it. You will see. There you will start to experience some kind of contentment. You will start to experience kind of like independence, not depending from things. You become kind of like a fearless. You feel kind of like a freedom inside. So then have that. If you go with this outside happiness and satisfactions, always you are related to rules and regulations. You become like a prisoner. And you are always have to go with conditions. You always, it's kind of like a trap. Rather than freedom, you lose the freedom. Look at that, or whatever the relationships or the whatever the connection that you build up towards the outside world. Have you ever experienced the freedom? Within few days, what happens? You kind of like, you feel kind of like you're stuck with something. So that's why I try to understand. Maybe what you believe regarding your life is your dharma, but if you want to follow the Buddha's teaching, learn the Buddha's dharma. So as I mentioned from the beginning, so there are 5 things that we always need to master inside us to develop this quality. Because any physical or mental quality itself not going to work. Everything depends on something. That is the very foundation of the Buddha's teaching. So there are 5 faculties inside us. So like your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, there are 5 qualities that you have to master. Like, just imagine when you start to learn to do something with your hands, and by the time while you keep doing it, so by the time you become very familiar with it, you get used to your hands. And if you start to keep punching, by the time your hand become mastering the technique. And if you play the baseball and keep playing, your body start to master. If you play the hockey, golf, you start to keep mastering the technique. So like that, your hands, and even if you play the soccer, you have to keep mastering your legs. So once the leg become familiar with it, you are capable to perform. So like that, when it comes to our spiritual life, there are 5 qualities: Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Faith, conviction, effort, mindfulness, tranquility state, wisdom. So the important thing is this Shraddha, or the confident, conviction, trust regarding anything. The most of time we just practice it itself. But always you have to remember, if the Shraddha itself, if the conviction, faith itself you practice, your mind may reach to restlessness. It's called uddacha, restlessness. And effort, if you practice itself, only effort, what will happen? That also give the result of restlessness. That's why if you look into this sport field, and whoever master this physical body, so they put the effort to do things, but at the same time, you will see they are very restless people most of time. They cannot balance their own energy. See, very famous people, when it comes to the sport field, very, very famous people, they become restless and they become very aggressive. And wisdom the same, panya. If the person practice the wisdom itself alone, that also leads sometimes to increase the restlessness. That you may see a lot of very well-educated people and have a big ego and very restless. So that is where, and the tranquility state, samadhi, itself, if you practice, it take you to have the sloth and thought, very sleepy, lethargic, lazy person. If the person practice only tranquility state, see, this in the middle, the sati. So then always you have to remember, like as example, when we cook any vegetables, the most of time we don't eat itself just a raw vegetable itself. We mix it with something, like as example, salt, pepper, or some other kind of like oil. So it gives some taste, and at the same time deeply it helps to digest and absorb all the nutrition to the body. And there are some things, if you eat itself, it just flush away. And that, like there are some vitamins, then kind of like calcium and magnesium, and have a connection. And you take it with the kind of like a C vitamin. And there are some multivitamins, you can't take it with some other vitamins because then it flush away. Like, so it kind of like, there is a kind of like a deeper connection to be harnessed. So saddha, viriya, samadhi, panya, faith, effort, tranquility state, wisdom. These four things, just imagine yourself. Sometimes when it comes to religious practice, most of time, very newcomers, they go through some up and downs in life, and then they want to become spiritual, and they start to go and pray or chanting and kind of like start to do things. And so they try to develop the faith, but if they learn or practice only faith-based activities, they start to do very weird things. They go kind of like a crazy, like nuts, They kind of like after that, it is very difficult to take them out of it and try to put into right path. So it can happen to anybody. They start to believe kind of like miracles, and they start to practice. They want to become spiritual. though. So, but because of the only they practice the faith, they become kind of like a zombies. No any depth, no any wisdom deeper inside their practice. And then the virya, and they put effort, only effort. They become very restless and they get mad very easily. See that they start to practice spiritual things, but end of that all, they are the one who have most of the anger, hatred, jealousy. So kind of like that, and then they become kind of like a completely different kind of person. Even that, then they start to believe that everything should be perfect or right, and other people cannot make mistakes. And so whatever you practice, other people also need to practice like that. So then you start to attack to other people. See, then what will happen? Then you are the one who get disturbed out of your own practice. So that is what happens when you practice only the effort. And even the shraddha and the effort, if these both come together, that still have the restlessness. Saddha, virya, panya, or the faith, effort, wisdom. These all three things has ability to ignite your restlessness. And if you practice only the tranquility state, always you want to calm down. Always you look into samadhi. And by the time you develop the sloth and thought, that way also you can become very zombie, very lazy. It's kind of like you always kind of like use kansa or marijuana or drugs. You kind of like in a different world. It's kind of like you are in tranquility state. You are kind of like in a kind of like yourself in the la la land. See, this is what happened through the practice. We see this. That's why most of time what we see when people start to practice these spiritual things, most of people go crazy. So, and some people practice only wisdom and always kind of like a very logical, analytical mindset. And then what happens? And they come with the very restless mind. They cannot listen to anybody. They cannot have a very good conversation. If anybody asks a question and they get mad and they try to attack to that person, and they think I am the only one know about this, everything, and you should believe what I say. And they start to come with their own teachings and they try to put it to others, believing kind of like that is as a gospel truth. You have no rights to argue, or you have no rights to ask question about it. Still today, there are a lot of gurus, kind of like there are a lot of spiritual teachers. You see this sometimes when they have conversations, if another person don't agree what they say, they get mad. Why is that? Because they develop the panya or the wisdom itself. So I'm going to give you the solution for this. That is the important part. If you develop the faith, virya, effort, tranquility state, or the wisdom, always you have to remember, keep the mindfulness or the sati or the awareness next to it. Don't practice anything alone itself. If you practice the If you develop the faith, conviction, trust regarding anything, keep the mindfulness next to it. Be mindful, be aware, have the sati, have the clear comprehension. If you have the effort to do something, never use it only just by effort. And then it going to become a disaster. Just imagine if once you become the best of the best, you make a lot of big mistakes. There are people like that. One of the best boxer in the world is Mike Tyson. You know what happened to him and how he start to behave. By the time when he start to lose, he cannot handle. He start to, break all the rules. Look, most of the people when they, even the sport fields, how they behave. So that's why. Remember, if you have put the effort or the energy to anything, use the mindfulness next to it. It's practice from the beginning. From the beginning. Then you're going to be okay. Because mindfulness will balance that. When you try to go out of the track, it will balance it. Samadhi, tranquility state, or this samadhi also can create a kind of like a zombie mind, and it will take us out of this conventional world. It's kind of like we living in a different world. And we kind of like in a la-la land. But practicing meditation is not like that. So then samadhi itself cannot. So then bring the mindfulness, awareness, clear comprehension, sati, next to tranquility state. Don't just use it by itself. Then it's going to become a disaster. And the panya, the wisdom, the same. Don't, because most of time people are so crazy, so greedy for wisdom. Because of that, they just go along with the wisdom. That doesn't work. So we have this deeper desire, hidden craziness towards the wisdom. We all have it. But remember, it can destroy your life. So keep the sati next to your wisdom or the panya. So then always use the sati or the awareness or the mindfulness, clear comprehension with your faith, with your conviction, with your effort, with your tranquility state, and with your wisdom. Because your mind, not with the even deeply with the conviction or the shraddha or the faith, or with the effort or the virya or the energy, or with the tranquility state, or with the wisdom, it never going to be satisfied. It always going to be balanced with awareness, mindfulness. So this is what Buddha understood. No one knew this. Of course, they used to practice faith, energy, samadhi, tranquility state, wisdom. They used to practice it separately. They never knew how this can balance by the sati. That was the beauty. So then always remember, if you look for happiness and satisfaction in this conventional world, Even though we name it as a conventional world, it based with your mind. End of this all, you have to bring that whole experience to your mind. So the mind will never going to accept that anything, whatever you bring from outside world. For the moment, it will become happy, say, oh, nice, good, I am happy, but within another second, it go to jump to something else. But if you settle down with the mindfulness or the awareness or the tranquility state or the clear comprehension, little by little by, rather than jumping towards something, it will start to settle down, settle down, settle down, settle down. So then always remember, for your unhappiness, for your fear, for your unsatisfaction, for your anxiety, for your depression, for your any kind of doubt, unbalance, the antidote is bringing these 5 spiritual powers, faculties with balancing sati. And once you have it, you become free from your own desires. So you didn't do it. So that's why you are still struggling. But your mind one day will get it there. Somehow it will going to get it. And even if, while you are hearing this, you cannot reject this if you hear it very clearly. Because deeper your subconscious mind, no, this is the truth. Why? Because the mind cannot reject mindfulness. Why? Because that is the only place it's going to settle down. So then remember that. Nothing wrong with the world, nothing wrong with other things, but still, always deal with the world based with your mindfulness. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens, just recognize. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world. around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ammihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhammapatipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahangotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.